I do think that there's going to be a crazy game of Settlers of Catan where nobody trades resources with that team because they're close to winning the championship. They're going to do it to the Patriots. I guarantee it. What is up, everyone? Happy Easter to everybody. Well, this is being filmed on Easter. It's going to be posted tomorrow. Tomorrow's the day it's posted, which is Monday. Whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Let's get after it. So, in honor of Easter, the day that Jesus rose from the grave and went to heaven. So, I think we need to talk about something else that's rising. I think we need to talk about the teams that are most likely to rise in the upcoming 2021 NFL Draft. Now, again, this is just my opinion, and if you don't like it, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and then you tell me in the comments that you don't like it. But first, like, share, and subscribe. I don't care if you don't like it, as long as you do those three. This is a basic calculation that I did. It's real simple. There's three aspects of what I think make a team most likely to rise up in the NFL Draft. The first one is you have to have the draft capital. Again, you can't be the Seahawks. The Seahawks have 3 picks right now. They cannot rise up very much. And if they do, they're going to sell out for one player. So you have to have the draft capital to do it. You can talk about it all you want to. We have this team, we have that need. Ooh, I'd love to get that guy. If you can't trade up, it doesn't really matter. The next one is open positions, or better yet, lack thereof. The reason why I'm doing this is I'm going off of teams with lots and lots of picks, but not that many open spots on their team. So they're thinking, well, if we sign the guys 5, 6, 7, they're not going to play on the team, so why don't we just take those, package up, move up, and get a guy we really want to? I think that's going to be another factor that's going to factor in these teams moving up. And the last one is championship window. I think that there are certain teams that they just don't have that many needs. They have draft capital, and they're trying to win a championship right now. So we're going to get into those teams really quickly and discuss them right now. Coming in at number 5 is the good old Dallas Cowboys. Now, the reason why I want to do the Dallas Cowboys is because if you look at the Cowboys, I mean, they've got, what is it right now? What do they have? They have 1 1, 1 2, 2 3s, 2 4s, a 5, 2 6s, and a 7, putting up at 10 picks right now. So 10 picks. Now, the reason why they're 5 is I think they have the draft capital to move up, but I also think that they're not a great football team, and they really need to hit on some draft picks, and I think they need as many chances as they can get. They're not 1 or 2 players away from a championship. They need really to fill out their defense. They need to replenish the offensive line. They need to do a couple things. Maybe even get a late round running back to push Zeke. You know, again, I think the offensive line actually is good enough to where they don't necessarily need to do that. But I think that they right now, sitting at number 5, most likely to move up. Not necessarily the strongest championship window. They do have a lot of needs, but they do have the draft capital, which means they're number 5. Up next is the Green Bay Packers at number 4. Now, I think that this one is one that makes sense for a lot of reasons. They have the draft capital, they have a championship window, and they don't have a lot of needs. They've got a pretty good offense, they've got a pretty good defense. They lost Corey Linsley, their Pro Bowl center, so that's a big hurt. But I'm thinking, like, what do you do there? So I don't know if this team is going to do this though, because the Packers are generally they're a pretty conservative front office. They don't really make a lot of crazy moves. They like to The Jordan Love pick was a pick for the future. They like to get a quarterback and groom him up. So I think that if they were smart, they realized, listen, we only got a couple years left. Aaron Rodgers is almost gone. Let's sell out for a championship with Aaron Rodgers. And if the worst comes to worst, we pick up some good players and we pick up higher players rated in the draft. I mean, they do not have that many needs right now. But I think that the Packers, despite the fact that they have 10 picks and they have a shorter championship window, they are pretty conservative. I don't suspect they will. I think they're going to play nice and safe and conservative. Up next is the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs in this calculation, they only have 8 picks. So the Kansas City Chiefs have a 1, a 2, a 3, 2 4s, 2 5s, and a 6, no 7s. They've got 8 picks. Not a crazy amount of picks, but I do think that they don't have a lot of needs, and their championship window is they're trying to squeeze one in before this Patrick Mahomes contract really kicks in. So I think that they could theoretically trade up. They're more likely than the Chiefs, are more likely than the Packers from a personality perspective. They're aggressive. I mean, they traded up for Patrick Mahomes, sat him, and then they went ahead and they took a hurt in the short term for Patrick Mahomes in the long term. But I think that they don't have as much draft capital to trade up, but they don't have very many needs. So I wouldn't be surprised if they moved some contracts around, did some things. They went after a couple offensive linemen in free agency. I think that if they traded up for one of those tackles, that might be a pretty good option. Trading up for one of those tackles that are available because they got rid of Eric Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz. So they're more likely to do that, but only 3 because they only got 8 picks. Don't know if they're going to do it, but I do think that they are more likely than the Packers. Up next at number 2 is the Cleveland Browns. Now, Cleveland Browns, a 1, a 2, a 3, 2 3s, 2 4s, a 5, a 6, and a 7. I think that they've got a pretty filled out roster, and they want to take advantage of, because Baker Mayfield is going to get resigned after this next season. I believe either during or after this next season. So that quarterback contract is going to kick in there, and they're probably going to have to sell out. They went 11-5. They're actually 3rd in the AFC North, but they almost beat the Chiefs. They were pretty close to beating the Chiefs. But I think that for them, they're just the kind of team that this also has a little bit of personality. Their championship window, I think, is shortening a little bit there. They do have some draft capital, and they have some open positions, but this is partially personality of the team. And the personality of the team, I think, for the Browns is the Browns are like, you know what, dude, we're 11-5 last year. Let's sell out. Let's do it. Let's just go for it this year. The Browns are the second most likely team to do that out of all the teams I've rated. But the number 1 team, far and away, I think is going to trade up in the draft it's got to be the New England Patriots. I do think that they have the draft capital to trade up. A 1, a 2, a 3, 3 4s, a 5, 2 6s, and a 7. Now, again, whether that's trading up in the second round, trading up in the third, trading up into the fourth, I think that they've got a lot of guys they filled in free agency. They've got a lot of talent coming back, especially from COVID. I believe that they had Dante Hightower's coming back from COVID and a couple other people too. So I think that they are most likely to make a trade up for a player, more than maybe a quarterback. Again, there's that 15th overall pick right there. That's a good little nugget for a team that you can trade up for. So I think that they're most likely to do this out of all the teams here because they don't have very many needs. The championship window, I think, is pretty short, and they have the draft capital to do it. Let me know what you think. Again, like I said, number 1, Patriots. Number 2, Browns. Number 3, Chiefs. Number 4, Packers. Number 5, Cowboys. Most likely to trade up in the draft, whether it's the first round, second round, third round, or whatever. They've got the right combination of things to happen and also a little bit of personality there too. So everyone, thank you so much. Please like, share, and subscribe to the video. I hope everybody yesterday had a happy Easter. And if you need anything, just let me know. I will be back on Wednesday with another video. Jake with Master Football, and I am out.